Just thinking about the possibility, dreaming about the future, so excited. The science education when you're younger, they never taught you the meaning behind things. Here's a Newton. Good morning, happy Monday. It's 8:30 and I gotta go. I just wanted some of my banana pudding cookies for breakfast because I'm an adult and I can. Gotta go. So I usually don't have to be this early. For my job, the schedule is very flexible, but today we're starting something new and I'm not going to the office today. We're going to another team's office and then we're gonna spend the whole day there. So yeah, that's why I'm early today. And in terms of this week, of course, I'm gonna keep the weight loss journey going. I'm gonna try not to buy more dessert this week because oh my gosh, I have so many in my freezer. Well, I'm still just gonna try to eat healthy and exercise, just doing the normal things. But starting from this week, my main focus would be to finally start my project to study the basic sciences because I'm so lacking in those knowledge. I was of course inspired by Charlie Munger to try to be someone who is at least versed in the basic knowledge for all subjects. And also just out of my own curiosity, I've always wanted to do this and I wanted to get myself into the habit of learning at a specific hour. So that's the plan. Obviously for different subjects, I have different levels of knowledge and understanding. For example, for biology and chemistry, I'd really have to learn starting from the middle school level. But then for subjects like math, of course, I have more knowledge and I'll just spend the time reading math related books that I've always wanted to read. For now, my plan's to do an hour each day at least. We'll see what happens. I gotta go. I'll see you after work. Bye. Oh my gosh, I'm giving myself a break, going to my car, getting a blanket because it's freezing in there. And then, gosh, like sitting there all day is just killing me a little bit. Basically, I'm just listening. I just ate a second piece of sandwich, I think out of boredom. I never would have expected this, but that has got to be the worst day ever for me, ever since I started working. Because oh my gosh, just sitting there for 8 hours straight, literally doing nothing, just listening. And it's a huge meeting, so I can't really do my thing because my manager is there. Most important of all, that sense of complete meaninglessness. I could just see like all of this. Sure, in the short term, there are things that we could do to automate some of their smaller process and all that. But it's very clear that this whole organization, essentially, they're the transfer point for all the documenting, which means it won't take long for all of them to be replaced. So that sense of meaninglessness while I just had to wait there is absolutely horrific. And I get why people gain weight when they're unhappy, when they feel really stressed out at work. It's so easy to eat mindlessly, to eat unhealthy, like what I'm doing right now. Gosh, I need some healing from today. Even just for a little bit, asking me to give up that sense of meaning and living life like today just is very damaging to me. I cannot take it. Yeah, I'll just eat first, read a little bit. By having some noodle soup, reading some Darwin, his writings on animals in South America, that has really helped. But oh my gosh, I am so bloated. I know that stomach or digestion system is closely related to your emotions. At least for me, I've always had very sensitive stomach, and if I'm unhappy, it's reflected on my stomach, my digestion system. So wow. Let me try this state. Hello. So, feeling slightly better. I don't think I had the time to explain in the morning the subjects that I plan to do. So I plan to do 6 subjects for at least 6 days a week, 1 hour each day. Biology, chemistry, physics, and earth science such as geology, geography, climate, oceanography, that kind of stuff. For these 4 subjects, I think I'm very lacking, even in the basics. So I'm gonna start from like the 101 classes. And then math and econ/finance. For this 2, I already have some foundations laid out. I read and watch econ related stuff quite a bit. So for this 2, I'll just spend the hour read on them. For me, learning really has to be interest-based. So I'm not gonna have a strict schedule for it as long as I get to all 6 subjects each week. Today, mostly because of the Darwin book, I'm really interested in learning more about climate, about earth science. So I found this course on Coursera. It is from University of Manchester called Our Earth is Climate, History, and Processes. So it is about 6:30. I want to go swimming first because, gosh, I really need to get into the water. I've been told that I look very angelic when I wear white. And I agree. See you at the pool. What a day. What a freaking day. Oh my gosh, I feel so much better, like 1,000, 10,000 times better. Oh, I love swimming. Hello, I am back. That was actually such a fun hour, such a good use of time where I'm walking on the treadmill and I'm learning more about the world. And honestly, now that I've gained a basic understanding of the geological time measurement, I'm like, how could I lived all these years without knowing this? I feel so ignorant, and I think that's good. That means there's a lot more for me to learn, for me to absorb. I think although it was very soul-sucking during the day, but starting from when I got home, Darwin, swimming, and learning about geology, those things definitely make me feel like the fountain spring of my soul, of my life is starting to flow again. And that's good. Learning itself just makes me so happy. But also thinking about the fact that I've chosen to utilize my time in this way that helps me improve, helps me becoming a better person, that makes me really happy too. So yeah, just in a really good mood. It's already 10 p.m. I need to do my French and Italian today. After that, I'll shower. It's an early morning again tomorrow. Yeah, that's all, and good night. Before I go to bed, I forgot to mention, I was interested in learning about earth science today, obviously because of Darwin and how he travels with the knowledge of earth science. He observes the rocks, the animals, the climate, and I just learned about stromatolites. And I saw that they're in Shark Bay in Australia, also in the Bahamas, and I saw their pictures. They look really cool. You know, I'm really excited to equip myself with more knowledge before the next time I travel. That would be so much more fun than my old way of just traveling ignorantly. Anyhow, gonna keep doing my Italian lesson. Buonanotte, bonne nuit, and oyasumi. Bye! Avocado over egg with some veggies. Needed some healthy fat, and you can't really see it, but my plate is absolutely adorable. Haven't had yasos in a while. Hello, finally got my hair and makeup down so I can show my face. So I just finished a meeting. My plan for the rest of the day, I have a pedicure appointment. Gonna do some video editing and meeting during my pedicure. I also wanted to do a little recording for my new idea for shorts, so that would be fun. Anyhow, for today, I plan to study the basics of chemistry because of a very random reason, as it always is with me. I was reading on Darwin's book yesterday, and he wrote about tuco, the animal in South America. I started Googling what they sounded like, but then when you Google tuco, it's a lot of Tuco Salamanca from Breaking Bad. And then it just led me to his tight videos. Anyhow, because of Breaking Bad, I was thinking maybe I should learn some basics for chemistry today. That would be fun. So yeah, that's the plan for today, and I'll see ya. Outfit of today. I ended up looking a lot more dressed up than I planned to, but that's fine because I look really cute in bodycon dresses. See ya. I got Panera for dinner. I've been seeing people on the internet raving over their new Asiago bagel for a while now. I don't know why I was starving after getting my nails done, so I thought might as well try it. It's 610 calories, so obviously only gonna have half of it. It really is pretty good. I can see why Chinese people would rave over this. The way they season the beef, like the pepper taste, it definitely is very similar to like the Chinese barbecue style. It's good, I like it. About halfway through, that's it. 300 calories. I really like this new habit of not finishing everything at once. Just put the food down and just come back to it if needed. I like it. I think this habit really helps with weight loss. It makes you realize how full you are. Hello, I am back. My berry chantilly cake. Hi. I think I've had the perfect amount of food for dinner today. I don't feel hungry, of course, and I also don't feel stuffed. So I want to get more into this habit of eating moderate amount of food that doesn't make me pass out. Anyhow, I'll go run a very quick errand, and when I get back, it will be chemistry time. I'm really glad I'm setting this 1-hour goal for each day for myself. Otherwise, it's such a nice day. I'm in a great mood. I would have just let myself relax. So really important to set goals and structures for yourself. So alright, trying to find chemistry courses right now. I found two of the most popular ones on YouTube. One is called Wacky Science, explaining general chemistry, and the other one, the Penguin Prof, with a series of videos for basic chemistry concepts. I'm just gonna start with the Wacky one and then move on to the Penguin. If neither of those fit my learning style, I'll just try to use Khan Academy. I also saw a 3-hour video made by the organic chemistry tutor. Oh my gosh, memories of high school and college years just coming back to me, trying to learn those equations. I'm still subscribed to him. I think I used him a lot for calculus back in the days. Oh my gosh, this feels so weird. And I want to say, out of all 6 subjects that I decided to learn, chemistry is probably the least interesting one to me personally. Yeah, I just never enjoyed it. I see the organic chemistry one filled with like chemistry questions. I just feel PTSD from high school. Hello, I am back. I never expected myself to say this, probably ever in my life, but chemistry was absolutely fascinating. The basic concepts were so interesting and so philosophical. So I first tried the Wacky Science dude, and that does not work for me at all. When you do a super short video explaining all the concepts in a subject, you're not explaining the reason and the logic and the whys. So he was just going through all the terms super fast, and that does not work for me at all. For me, I think that's the problem with basic science education in school. I always thought of myself as a non-STEM person because it's always a lot of concepts just thrown at you with no explanations. Just memorize this, memorize that for the test. And for me, if I don't see the meaning of it, I forget all of them. The science education when you're younger, they never taught you the meaning behind things. I could not see the meaning beyond the tests. And that brings me to the second channel, the Penguin Prof lady. She is absolutely amazing. the way she explains things in a very simple, easy to digest way. And I love how she explains that, okay, these are the basics and this is the goal. This is the reason that atoms need to form bonds because they want to be happy. So it's very interesting, very easy to understand. And it's very, very philosophical if you think about it. When you're trying to be better, when you're going through life, my goal is I want to be balanced, I want to be happy, I want to be a more well-rounded person. Essentially, I want to be a noble guest where I can achieve the balance by myself. And anyhow, that was super interesting. The ladies explain everything in such easy to understand analogies. I'm sure this would happen in the future, and hopefully I can become part of the force as well. That the education system needs to be changed completely. It needs to be personalized. For people like me, we need teachers like her. We need to understand the meanings, not just being told what to do. And you know what? There's a long way to go for society, for the education system, for helping everyone to find the position that was made for them, the fittest for them in this world, in this society. And that means starting from school, teaching and integrating individuality, helping the kids to find the ways that really fit their learning style. I never got that. I don't think much of the kids in my generation got that, and it really should be there. So a lot of thoughts and a lot of excitement just from learning chemistry. This has been so much fun. I am so happy that I'm doing this. One thing that I forgot to mention, one thing that I've always wanted to learn more about is alchemy, and I think it could be considered as history of science, mostly chemistry. So after I've learned all the basics, I will be very excited to read the book that I've marked for forever. It's called The Secrets of Alchemy. Just excited for all the knowledge that I'm gonna learn and all the books I'm gonna read. Yeah, good night. Bye. Oh my gosh, so good. Good morning. This is what I look like on Wednesday. Gosh, I just got home. Look at my flowers. They died? That's really fast. That's kind of sad. And they're so pretty. I guess I'll go get new flowers later. That's really sad, but I've been seeing so many really pretty spring bouquets. You know, that would be nice too. So at work today, I had a sense of unfulfillment, as in there's this project that I've been working on the whole time, but it's because of how my team is organized in a kind of chaotic way that I'm just not kept in a loop for everything, and that makes me feel really unimportant, and I hate that feeling. I know the nature of working like corporate jobs, it's essentially pointless, as in like everyone's replaceable, of course, but at the same time you still want to feel some sense of accomplishment, right? And I feel like I'm getting less and less of that at my current job. So, well, I don't know when would be a good time for me to get a new job. I do still need the freedom to do my social media thing. We'll see. And I got my Sephora order from the spring sale. I needed some foundations and concealers, but I'm really excited about, I got a few new blushes from YSL and Hourglass. Let's check them out. Oh my gosh, look at the packaging. They're so adorable. Anyhow, I was just thinking that I get why people would sometimes obsess over their home, over like how their flowers should look, how the furniture, how the little things should look. I think it's a sense of if you don't have control over the outside world, if you don't have control, say like at your job, at other things, you want to create a world of your own which you can control completely. And I think for some people it's their home. For like Walt Disney, it would be Disneyland. I just wanted to say that I understand that feeling, and I think I really need that as well. That sense of having a world or having something that I could have complete control over to give me a sense of fulfillment. I think everyone needs that. Anyhow, yeah. I was reheating my bagel in the air fryer. I don't know, maybe it was the parchment paper. There was a lot of smoke. Good thing that I noticed it before the smoke detector went off. Oh my gosh, I don't know what is happening today. I gotta focus on my work. Everything's out of control. these flowers are very pretty, even just by their own. So I think I'll wait a little bit more till I get new flowers. And also when I was changing water, I saw that all the water that I had in the vase were dried out. So maybe the blue flowers just needed a lot more water than the flowers that I used to have. I mean, I'm no expert, so it's interesting how for everything you need to learn and gain experience. Anyhow, gonna do some video editing. I don't know what is happening today. My login account on my work laptop just got locked for 3 hours. I guess I'll really have to lay low today because this is weird. And also I forgot to say, I'm gonna learn about physics today because I just finished The Accidental Universe by Alan Lightman last night. I've kept it by my bed as my nighttime reading book and I finally finished it. I love Alan Lightman. I think I already read quite a lot on things that physicists write compared to biology and chemistry, just because physics always get a little philosophical. It's always related to the meaning of life, and that's my thing. But I'm very lacking in my basic middle school physics knowledge, so I'm gonna study that today. Yeah, just gonna keep doing my video editing. So pretty, such a nice day. Yay, free banana pudding! Hello! So I actually got home right on time for my meeting, but I just saw that my meeting got moved to Friday. I have no idea why, but that's fine. I just wanted to say that taking a walk during the day is so nice. Feel the breeze, the nature. The thing is though, for the first 15 minutes, it's absolutely amazing. It's so nice. But then for the last 10 minutes, it's like, am I just wandering through life as if I have nothing to do, just out here for walks? So yeah, in the future, when I go out for walks during the day, I'll keep it under 20 minutes. It's just like, say, if you go on vacation, if you go to the resort, and it's so nice the first 2 days, but then the rest of the days, you have to find something to do, otherwise you're just bored. At least that's the case for me. Hello! I just uploaded my vlog episode 0, and it's 4 p.m. I'm hungry, so let's make dinner. I have my konnyaku spaghetti and some pasta sauce that I wanted to use, meatballs. Yeah, just a simple dinner. Alright, here's my dinner. Some noodles with runny egg. That was actually a great workout. I didn't know what to expect. So it's 20 minutes of cycling and then 20 minutes of strength and then 20 minutes of yoga. So very fun. At first I was like, cycling again? That's boring. But then when we got to strength, I thought, oh, this is really nice. It's a great workout. They have the whole set. All the equipments were really nice. And then when we got to yoga, even better. That was super relaxing. So I really love their idea. I love the facility. And I like how it's no bullshit. It's just workout. There's no cringe talk. The only thing is the person at the front desk, not very nice. But whatever. A great workout is a great workout. And also it's not like super intense Pilates where afterward you feel like your entire body is dead. This feels challenging but also doable, which is nice. Anyhow, that's my thoughts. I am 3 minutes away from the Strawberry Tres Leches barbecue place, and we'll see if they're actually good. Okay, I cannot believe they're out of their Strawberry Tres Leches. I came all the way here. I got their cinnamon Tres Leches. The guy said it's their original thing, and oh my gosh, look at all the milk. It's fine, let's try it. Hello, so ready to learn some physics. I found this course on Coursera. It's called How Things Work, an Introduction to Physics, and it is by University of Virginia. I like how it seems to be about the very basic, very fundamental concepts in physics, and I love how it is very based in real life. That always works better for me when they try to tie up the concepts with the real world. It's easier to understand, and it's just so much fun to learn about how things work in real life. So yeah, going on the treadmill right now. Alright, my watch died, but I'm at around an hour. This has been really interesting. So far, this feels like a very fundamental class. It seems like a class that could be taught in middle school because of how much the professor incorporates real-life example and demonstrations. So it's really easy to watch. I started kind of late, so I planned on doing only 30 minutes of it, but then because it was fun, and also because I think the professor is very adorable, time just moved very fast. So yeah, that was fun. Here's a Newton. I think it's so adorable that one, they named the SI unit for force Newton, and two, that it's the force of a small apple. Just absolutely adorable. Also astounding that I did not know about this. But you know what? We're learning, so it's okay. Also, I'm thinking that my vlogs are essentially a reflection and a record of how I decide to grow as a person. For the first few weeks, it was about weight loss. Essentially, it's getting into the habit of eating healthy, eating less, and how I want to live. And this week, finally, I'm getting into studying basic subjects. It's not gonna be just for videos. It's the habit that I want to get into, how I want to spend my time as a person, towards the end goal of becoming as knowledgeable as I could.
North is taking a step forward.
Alright, here's what I look like on Thursday. I haven't used my backpack in a while. Good morning. I am in such a bad mood today. Ever since last night, I'm just annoyed by everything. When I'm in a good mood, I genuinely don't care how people are, no matter how annoying, how rude, how arrogant, how patronizing they are, whatever, all the flaws of humans. But when I'm in a bad mood, I'm just annoyed by everything. I'm hating on everyone right now in my head. Just annoying memories. Well, sorry for all the ramping. Although I cannot control emotions because it's like weather, I'll try to do better sleep schedule just to help me with my emotions and also help me with my weight loss. Ooh, I'm using the Pat McGrath blue eyeshadow today. It's kind of cute, something different. Again, I'm annoyed that I have to go into office today. There's an in-person thing that I have to do. It has just been a really long week. I cannot wait for the weekend, and also I cannot wait to study more about science because that always gets me in a better mood. Today, I am going to study biology. Honestly, I know it's pointless to get upset, get annoyed by small things, by people, because there's a much larger world out there. And it's honestly not that serious, but still, I'm a human. I still have emotions. Yeah, it is what it is, and I am going to the office. I plan to get some sushi for lunch today, because I just have a craving for sushi rolls. So yeah, I just listened to a podcast. It's about supersonic airplanes. Very interesting topic. And you know what? Even when I'm in a bad mood, I still love to learn. I love new information and I love thinking about possibilities and also working toward my goal. So, oh my gosh, I am absolutely starving. I am getting some sushi rolls. I don't want the raw fish nigiri omakase style. I want some nice sushi rolls right now. Absolutely starving. But I was really annoyed and in a really bad mood when I came to office. But then when you start interacting with nice people, I had to do an in-person thing with my coworker. I really get along with him as a person and it really helps. I just feel much better now. Except that I'm starving, so this traffic better get better. I could eat a cow right now. Alright, no longer hungry, food cravings satisfied. I'm in a much better mood. Even the weather's getting super nice. Going home, I have a lot of work to do today. See ya. Wow, that is a lot of milk. Oh my gosh, that was a lot of cake. Hello. Fell asleep from sugar crash. I'm gonna go out for a walk, do my French and Italian, and then when I get back, we will study some biology. Hello. Hello, I am back from the gym. I couldn't really talk because there was a guy that came into the gym and he's the really loud type. Whatever, as soon as I had my focused background music on, I was really immersed in my studying. So as you can see from the video, I went through many resources, really searching for the right tool to study. The thing with trying to learn with videos or with a teacher, sometimes you just don't click with the teacher's teaching style or personality. I think it happens a lot in school. So that's why I think the future, when we utilize AI, it really could be much more personalized, and it will be so much easier for kids to learn in the future than my generation, or think about the generation before me where they didn't have the internet. Anyhow, I think technology is just always great for education. Speaking of that, I really want to recommend the textbook/website that I finally landed on. I've been using it for 40 minutes so far. I'm loving it. So I ended up searching for AP biology and I found this website called OpenStax. Basically, they have a bunch of subjects and free materials, which is absolutely awesome. And I saw that it's developed by Rice and I'm in Houston. Also, check out this book, La Jolla, where I went to college, and Cornell, where I went to grad school. I was like, the coincidences. I decided to use this textbook because I really liked their table of contents, all that basic topics, which is what I'm looking for, helping me form a structure. By the way, they have a great interface. I mean, I'm a UX designer, so I always observe how easy it is to use their interface. When you do this, you can do a highlight, also add a note. Also, of course, you can search the book. I mean, how amazing is technology? Come on. Yeah, so as you can see, great resources, loving everything about it. And I do think one characteristic of myself that I'm really proud of is how flexible I am. That as soon as I figure out, okay, something is not for me, I will start to look for new ways to achieve my goals. And I think this ability, of course, not only applies to learning, it applies to literally everything you do in life. So I'm pretty proud of myself for having that quality. And that's another thing about learning. It really is a very personal thing that you just have to spend the time to find out what works for you. What is the resource, what is the style, and what is the level of difficulty that works for you. If you just search for the most popular video on YouTube, that's very lazy and also may not be the most effective. Also, before I shower, I got way too tired last night to do this. I wanted to try out my new blushes. I got the YSL, oh, it has Chinese on it. The YSL Make Me Blush. I got 42 and 93. I think the packaging is absolutely adorable. I just started doing swatches again because, of course, when you get new makeup, you always want to do swatches. Always reminds me of my college days. And look at all my blushes. I was just browsing online and I saw a news of 3 people trying to have a wedding together in China. And for me, they're not hurting anyone. It's honestly not a big deal. The French had Drew and Jim in the 60s. Anyhow, that news just reminds me of Darwin's book, where in it he was describing that there's this type of eagle in South America. Even though they're very unfriendly, they're seen in pairs. When he introduced like different animals, how different animals live differently, you know, some live in groups, some live by themselves. And you know what? I think that's beautiful. The differences is what makes the world a place worth living. And then it reminds me of the biology lessons that I was doing today, how there's a hierarchy of living things, cells from tissues, organisms form ecosystems, and then the ecosystems form the biosphere. It's just the idea of this hierarchy in nature, this circle of life, how everything is connected. Always been very fascinating and very philosophical for me, which is why I love Disney. Their songs always incorporate lyrics that are actually pretty philosophical, like Circle of Life, Colors of the Wind, the Pocahontas song. I highly recommend the French version because the lyrics are just so beautiful. Good night, and I'm gonna go listen to some Disney songs. Okay, I just decided on what book I'm gonna read. It is called 1, 2, 3 Infinity. I think it's more about general science, but it starts with math. It looks really fascinating, so that's what I'm gonna read. Also, this reminds me of, I read a book called The Drunkard's Walk. It's a lot more about statistics, randomness in life. I absolutely love that book. And I just checked that the author is actually a physicist. He teaches at Caltech. So, you know, all the sciences are interconnected and it all starts with math. So I think it will be a great book for me to read at this point, especially when I'm trying to learn all the sciences. Yep, going out for a walk. I just saw in my recommended books that Eddie Wu, the math teacher, has his own book, which is pretty awesome. I might check it out sometime in the future. And then also, there's another book that I found called The Mathematical Universe. Looks very interesting. Slightly longer than this 1, 2, 3 Infinity book. So I'm gonna do this one first and then move on to the Mathematical Universe. Yeah, just very excited to learn. Everything looks super interesting. I'm reading the part where the author is talking about the infinite combination automatic printer. It's basically like the Shakespeare monkey thing. It prints out every single combination possible, every single sentence that Shakespeare has ever written, every single line of words, every single poem, every single love letters that people has written, every single writing in the future as well. You know what? I'm reading that while on my walk and I can feel the breeze. I just feel like it's very beautiful. It's very romantic. It reminds me of Alan Lightman and I really enjoy this moment. I think every single time that I read something that reminds me of the infinity and the vastness of the universe, always gives me goosebumps. When you're outside, when you feel the wind, when you feel that connection with the world, it would be really nice to go on a shorter trip, like a national park. If only there's a place closer to Houston. But yeah, just gonna keep reading. Just got home right around an hour. Got this new bath pillow. I am very excited because I love taking baths. Okay, this is very nice. It's so comfortable. I love it. Just got home. I think my foundation still looks perfect. I like that cafe. Their food was honestly below average, but I really liked their lavender coffee, and I love any place with a Hawaii theme. Okay, I was doing video editing, right? And I got to the point, I want to say around 2 weeks ago, where I got the idea that I wanted to go to Africa, specifically Tanzania, to see the Great Migration. Even when I'm editing and looking at my own excitement, it got me so happy because I looked so excited whenever I'm dreaming about something, whenever I'm thinking about what's my next goal. And I've just been in a great mood this afternoon, even though it's very gloomy, just thinking about the possibility, dreaming about the future. That gets me so excited. Of course, I've learned to not sit down after eating, so gonna go out for a walk, do my Italian and French, and then I keep thinking about how can I make enough money to go on a relatively luxury trip to Africa to see the Great Migration. Hello. So I've been looking at traveling to Tanzania and Kenya in the past 2 hours and I'm so excited. I think last night I was feeling suffocated and I realized what I really needed because I didn't see a short-term goal that feels achievable. That's why at this stage of my life, I think that I only want to travel if I really needed it or it's a symbolism for a goal, as Africa is for me right now. So yeah, I'm in a great mood. I hope I can go to Africa this summer. We'll see if I still feel the need to go away tomorrow. So yeah, that's all. I'm gonna record some shorts. Good night and I'll see you tomorrow. Keeping on with the whole purple pinkish theme. It's cold. Just a very nice breezy moment. I'm back. Oh my gosh, sitting by the pool makes me so sleepy. All right, Today is econ finance. Specifically, I want to learn more about financial reports. So I have this book. It's called One Book to Understand Financial Reports. So I'm gonna go out for a walk, read this book for 30 minutes, and then I've had this PowerPoint open for God knows how long, like forever. It is by China Investment Security, and this just means how to read a publicly listed company's financial report. And it's 20 pages, so I thought leaving 30 minutes for it may be a good time. Yeah, let's just start from here. Hello, I just showered. I was just using this. I love the design of this face mask. See, it has step 1, 2, and 3. So first you put on the essence, then you put on the face mask, and finally eye cream. I think it's an amazing design. It makes so much sense to me to have 1, 2, 3 steps of your skincare all incorporated into this one product. Because think about it, when you use your hand or those little spoons that come with the skincare products, there's no way that's sanitary. Anyhow, I just wanted to say I love it. Every time after I use it, it feels like it brightens up my face. That's all. It's about 10 p.m. I'm gonna go learn more about financial reports. I wanted to talk about how I felt about the book that I read earlier. Loved it. The second I open it, it's very clear that it's written by someone who is extremely logical, rational, and straight to the point. The way she writes is exactly what I would imagine for someone who's really into accounting would write. She's so succinct, straight to the point, but at the same time, she explains the concepts in a very human, easily understandable way, which is very clear that she's a very smart person, because I think it really takes a certain level of intelligence to be able to summarize and analyze complicated things, such as how accounting works, how companies work, into very short, abstract concepts. It's just like Newton with his laws. She can explain those very abstract things with examples, with very digestible languages. Anyhow, I loved it. I'm an ENFP, so accounting always feels like a very ISTJ, very far away thing for me. But I love it when I can pick the brain of someone who is like her, very analytical, very logical, very rational, and absolutely zero bullshit. I was highlighting everything because she does not put in any useless information in there. And it's just very interesting. That's not how my brain works naturally. So there's always things that I could learn from people like her, and there's always room of improvement in this area for me. There's one quote that she wrote I really liked. She said, "A company can make many thousands of deals, but through the eyes of an accountant, there are only 3 things that a company does: running or operating the business, investment, and fundraising." I just thought it's so interesting. With the correct system of organization and categorization, you could essentially simplify everything. What's under liquid assets, what's under non-liquid assets. For a company to work, there's someone that documents even the smallest things. It's like in our society, in the world, there needs to be people at each position that is the fittest for them so that they could operate as part of the machine, and then in turn, the societal machine could run efficiently. Anyhow, I was a sociology major in college. That part of me will always be here if you couldn't tell already. Anyway, just going back to what I said about simplicity, it reminds me of Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett, how they really value simplicity in life, where you want to eliminate unnecessary things such as meaningless socializations. And I've always agreed with their thoughts. In order for you to lead a happy, balanced life, you need to do subtraction. You need to make your life simple. Also, even though I'm ENFP, I've always loved categorization, like with my files, with everything in the world. That's why I liked sociology. It's like trying to find the pattern and hierarchy and categories of everything. Categorizations, clear hierarchy of information just make me happy. Finally, one more thing, my thought about this week. Absolutely love how I decided to start doing this. I think when I put a time on it, before it happens, I'm kind of annoyed. I'm like, ugh, I have to do this. But then as soon as I start, I get into the flow. I'm just so happy because I love learning about the world. I love the feeling of I'm slowly completing and strengthening the web of knowledge in my head. And I love seeing how for different disciplines, there are different people with a different way of thinking. I just love it when I can see the world from a different angle, from the point of view of someone who is smart and inspiring and different than me. Yeah, that's all. Good night.